Alright, it's time to get started. This music is too sad. Alrighty then. That sounds better. Okay, that's good. Hey, hi Hood, what's up, man? What's cracking? Let me know if the music is too loud compared to my voice. Should be the same setting as last time, so it should be good. Okay. I have the configuration for a triple vertical laser. I'm ready. I'm ready to make it happen. Excellent news. Excellent news. Okay. Well, I was off stream. The latest thing I implemented was to add a global world position to the bone direction. So now I'm looking at this robot. I'm looking, for example, his left hand. I can take a look at this this world bone direction, and using that I'll know where the gun is pointing at. When it's pointing down, but it shoots me evens out, but the y coordinate becomes closer to 0. And we're just gonna points the hands down, it points down as well. So it looks good now. So now it's time to switch it to a laser. For example, for one of his hands. Now the actual logic isn't there yet, so that remains to be done. Okay. Triple, vertical. That should be good to configure. Let's see how it works right now. Alright, for testing I need to do it on both sides. Or maybe just because it was set to single. Let's see. Come on, boy. Show me what you got. Nothing. How did you fire? Maybe I'm recording somewhere the exact weapon this thing is firing. Let me see. Let's see. Come on, debugger, show me what you got. Okay, it is attacking. That part is fine. This is triggering, good. That doesn't go out. Yeah, I know somewhere I'm doing this. We'll use Annie. I think it's here, right? Yeah. Okay, so it does get here. Oh, it probably requires some of these components, doesn't it? Oh, I see. So right now my laser ability is only pretty specific to a player. It's been a long time since somebody else shot it. That's why it doesn't work. Okay. The robot would have a bone attachment, so that's good. This is optional, so it's fine. His direction. Yeah, I think I need to make both of these optional. 1 for 5. Well, it's not even used anyway. Oh, screw it. Garnet shell. Who's triggering this? Oh, it's whatever. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so player is still fine. Now this one doesn't quite do the direction of the bone yet. Hey, Mr. Seuss, what's up? Just be signed to implement the laser flow robots. Okay. So at least this is now operational. And what I need now is a toggle. I need to tell the laser to follow the bone. Okay. Because player hand bone isn't actually pointing direction of the laser, it's more like hand up while the laser is forward. So we need that to be separate. Yeah. Let's see. Bone direction. Okay. So with that, I should have enough configuration to do the work. Just so right now it goes directly for it where it thinks the player was at. Okay. So now gun left, yeah. Full bone check, save. Good. Good. All right. Now direction. Right here, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Might be as easy as that. No, not yet. Wait, only one of them fires. The right one is firing, but not the left. What's the difference? Okay, it follows it now, so that's good. Just throw a little bit too far away. Can change that. about this? Unfortunately, it attacks itself. Why does it attack itself? This is the left gun. Oh, it can hit. How does owner? Huh. Well, take a look at that later. I mean, it's close enough. Come on, do it again. Lumen 360, huh? Interesting. Could always be odd. Huh. Yeah, it could be a 360 doing some kind of additional interception for some buttons. Who knows? You know, I definitely need to configure the laser thickness per gun weapon, because this is too thin for robot laser, for sure. For sure. Do you know for any like Xbox forums we can actually ask that? Or if it's all still private? Let's see, let's go laser, left gun, laser. There's no thickness here. What about this one? There's a thickness. Hell yeah. Okay, so that is there. I just need to pass it on. Oh. Laser went away. Okay, let's pass this laser thickness. The configuration just keeps on growing, never stops. And just for funsies, let's pack these booleans 4 at the same time so they can use one as many bytes as possible. Although each bool is 1 byte anyway. At least this is back to 4 bytes. At least that. Do you have Xbox X to test on? Because yeah, 360 is pretty behind. I'm pretty sure, wasn't it discontinued entirely on the store or something? I heard something like that. Yeah, that's what I remember hearing. Indeed. I didn't have a 360 at some point, but now all I have is Xbox X, right? Yeah. There's no way I have 360. Okay. There it is. Yeah, I rearranged some stuff, didn't I? A homebrew app, huh? Yeah, I've heard the term before. Not sure what that means for the console though. See, vertical bone, and then piercing is done on hit. I wish it would just fix this arrangement for me, so I don't have to suffer. We're good. Oh my god. It's a bit strong. Although I do approve. I do approve. Let's see. Maybe 2.5 for the player is good. Yeah, I'm good with that. Alright, big boy. Let me see a laser. Good enough for now. Now let me go next song. Not in the mood for salsa right now. Right. With that, I think I'm ready to do some math. I need to compute a few offsets and fire 3 lasers. Okay. Oh, this one's still broken. Yeah, doesn't like it. Just doesn't like it. It's fine. There's a lot of reflection on ray tracing mode. Holy Christ. Holy Christ. I'll have to tone down reflections at some point, but not right now. Okay. So now, let's implement it. It's time for some math. Do you even have tools right now to produce like native C++ games for 360? Because between all consoles, I think working on Xbox is easier than PlayStation. Just connect that thing to Windows and it runs off of Visual Studio straight up without any issues. That's what I recall doing last time I messed with that. I actually wonder if I were to start to work like on Xbox X, putting my game to that platform, could I actually stream it? Or is it gonna be just covered under NDA? I think I would need 2 capture cards too. One for desktop, one for the game. Or one for the console. Oh boy. Alright, triple up. Now I can copy some of the logic from the twin lasers. Where are they at? VS 2010 Pro, wow. Old school. Using nothing but the a discontinued product, huh? That's funny. But 2010 has to fly like the wind. Especially modern computers. There's definitely a benefit to that. Alright, so we already have direction, right? Direction, yeah, I have direction. This is the direction of the laser. I remember seeing a video of like a whole Visual Studio debugger running from like 20 years ago on a 20-year-old hardware at the time, right? And that debug was running faster than the Visual Studio debugger now on the current hardware. I think I saw Casey Moritori post at some point. That blew my mind. That was crazy. All right, here we go, 3 lasers. Now this one might be fairly easy to do. I just need to get a vector pointing down. What's the best way of doing that? I guess for now, we can just do something simple. Yeah, it would make sense. As you get later on, you also have to use later SDKs. I guess it's more primarily about probably SDKs, maybe not so much VS. All VS might need different version too. You might have a different transport communication between that and the console. Especially for 60, I don't remember, did you need a Did it work through Ethernet? Did you need like a separate weird cable to do that stuff? I don't remember. I think I messed around on Xbox maybe some years back. I think it was just Ethernet communication. But I'm not sure if it was 360 or not. Oh, what I have is Xbox One, not Xbox X. You know, I'm just curious. Develop for Xbox X as an indie. What does it take? Can I just take anything, convert it to developer mode? That'll be wild. Yeah, it'd be pretty slick. I don't think it will make nearly as much money as selling just straight up on Steam, but I'm still curious. Oh, I don't care about that. Sadly, my color of my skin is not right for this program. That's pretty wild. You're only going to need to pay fee to certify. I don't believe that, but okay. A dev kit. I'm pretty sure dev kit means a physical dev kit, but maybe you no longer need that. Let's see, how old is this? Pretty old. Do I need to sign NDA? Yeah, that's good. Sounds like you still need SDK from them. Whatever. I do recall reading that for Nintendo Switch it's a lot easier. You can just download SDK and get going. Which kind of makes sense. Nintendo doesn't have any crazy hardware to worry about. Anyway. Let's see. Side offset. We'll rename that. To laser offset. Yep. Good. Yeah. Fine. Let's see. So for I, 0 should be -1. It will be 0, 1, 2. I'm turning into 1, 2. convert it over to -1, 0, and 1. Yep, that works. Do I need to create a prefab for this? This is fine for now. The right direction is the same. I might need to change. There's no end position. Oh yeah, here's end position. Why am I setting position here? I don't need position for lasers. Oh, at least I don't need it. It should set itself. Maybe I don't need it. I don't remember. Might as well adjust that too. See potential, laser, and still need to take angle into account, but that should at least place it all out. Let's see. Create only one of them. Oh, why isn't that triple? Yeah, I had an idea for triple laser a few days ago when I first started thinking about the boss. So I figured might as well get it going. Let's see, put on triples. Put on triples. Make it vertical. Have to play around. What I'll need to do, implement some kind of like a tester in my editor so I can just let the editor robot be active and tell him to like give him command to shoot so I can just see how it looks like in here. But it's probably too much work for now. No, still doesn't care. So just not save. No, it's here. Created 3 lasers. Maybe the offset was too small. Come on, do it again. I want to see. Oh, I remember. So in this case, it will be a single gun firing 3 lasers at once. So maybe I'll change the arm hand to indicate that. Yeah, I've been thinking about maybe letting the player shoot off one of his arms. But now you can only shoot off part of the core armor blocks, but not the hands yet. But I can easily make that happen. It's not a problem. Now, what I really want is to bring the male hero into the game. That way I can just put the smack down on these robots. He could literally rip an arm off of a robot and just attack them with its own hand. Its own arm. That would be slick. I know what the problem is. I need to do... So I'm correctly placing the laser initially. The problem is... I need to correctly update it as well. Let's see. If it already has a laser, it goes to the laser entity. And that just changes the goal. But somewhere it would also update its start too, right? No? Because here it updates both start and goal. So it's attached to a bone. Laser start. If already has a laser. It only updates the goal, which is the end, not the start. Oh wait. Yeah, end is calculated based on the collision. Goal is like the end point, which is fine. Because laser is kind of semi-independent. Once you place it in the world, it figures out exactly where it's firing on its own. So I kind of need some extra information, I think. Yeah, it even figures out its own position. Interesting. Interesting. Mr. Cricket. Okay. Yeah, a single laser for a big boss is not impressive enough. It needs a triple. It's the same Pokemon. Where to go? Something make it double. Okay, laser beam position. I know I do this with turrets. Current aim. Oh, I need identification. What I need is identification for each laser to tell it's what part of the triple it is. Bottom, middle, top. Oh yeah, laser identity. That's exactly what I had. So I need to extend that. I mean, left right doesn't make sense for the vertical configuration. Not sure what to call it. You know what, I'll do this. Middle laser, and then top laser is going to be the same as left laser. As right laser. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. You never thought a laser could have identity, huh? Well, it does. Definitely can have an identity. You know what, I'll just do it as an array. Okay. There will be bottom, and top. Identities. Okay, that works. Let's rename this to just type. Okay. Let's get going. Let's see. Oh, that needs an upgrade for OMGUI. What was it? Middle. Oh, except it's the same value. Fine. You know what? Fine. This is what I want. Middle, bottom, top, yes. Bottom, middle, top, yes, okay. Okay. I feel good. Now I just need to have it restart the laser so I can take a look again. You little bastard. Alright, that's the middle one. And the top one. So let's see. This is the bottom one. So it should have a smaller Y. 0.89 versus 0.9. So right now those all sadly the same. But now I can change that. Okay, once we're here, sure this might. Oh, that was not good. That triggered into nasty thing. Sure what happened there. Did I cause some problem? New problem. You know what, just for now, let's mute this volume. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm just muting this thing, so I don't have to deal with that sound crap. Okay. Let's get a hold of its identity now. No, I don't care about anything. Well, I kind of do. I mean, right now it's only doing... only supporting triple laser here. Except I don't actually have... I don't tell each laser what type of thing it is. I guess it doesn't matter too much. I just assert this. Okay. Okay, so middle laser is the same. That shouldn't change. But this needs an offset. Oh, wait, this is being called while inside laser ability, so I do have access to everything I want. Laser ability. Okay. It's a general idea. Not sure if it's completely true. But it might be. Somebody must be updating the start. I just don't remember where. And because it's already moves on its own. Where do I do that? Let's see. Start. Oh, this one directly connects to the attachment on the bone. Makes sense. So I could actually just do it here. Okay. Need a laser identity in here. Optionally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 9 actually. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's supposed to be optional too. Okay. It's fine to keep the goal as this. I can adjust the goal in that one instead. Yes, I actually need to undo this change. Let's see this one. There you go. It's a problem I use as a sole developer for GitHub, just rolling back your local changes so far. Actually, history going back too far hasn't come up. Unless I'm like making video covering like a long progress of custom ones. Guess I'll just ignore everything else. for now. Yeah. I mean, for now I can do... Yeah, this is information I need. I need the offset. And for the laser ability. Oh, I do. Laser ability is apparent. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, that was nice because my laser's entity is attached to the gun that fires it. So that way it has all information it needs. Cool. Cool. Okay. Compute. Perpendicular to the laser direction. But even this should already be pretty good. Well, not amazing, but good enough. Yeah. Now metal doesn't need any adjustments, and this is just a plus. Yeah, I know that. Let's take a look. You know what, to make it easier, we'll just turn off the right gun. Just turn it off for now. There we go. Identity of the bottom one. Here's the middle one. 8989 9191. This actually looks valid. It's just not far enough. Side offset. Up to 3. Just too thick. Oh, but thickness doesn't get updated at runtime, so that requires. Oh God. Ye God. That now needs to be that big. Still need to see them independently like this. There you go. Yeah, most of the time the guy fires the laser vertically, unless you hit him at the right time. Come on, I want to hit you right as you're... It would be cool if that laser didn't end so quickly. It just stops immediately. But otherwise, it is doing what I want. I just had this idea in my mind was that while he fires laser, you shoot him, he just kind of swings to the side a bit, and that makes the laser just kind of go off to the side or something, or even just go up. Alright, bring it. Oh, he lost everything. Okay. Let me see. Thickness was like maybe this much. I mean, that fits close enough. So 1 for 9.25-ish. Okay. Okay. Get this range out. Maybe even more than that, like 75 or something. This is a freaking boss. Why is he shooting himself suddenly? This volume is not being saved as annoying. Alright, I proved that. Alright, he needs a longer range though. His range is a bit on the short side. Attack range 60. Yeah. No, let's do that. Alright, where's Max back? Controller. Time to do a little play testing in the wild out there. The interesting thing that right now he's not going to particularly hit you directly, but on the other hand, it can actually connect to your arms. I need to have like an independent delay to the guns, so they don't care about what robot state is on. So once the laser goes off, it does continue to fire for like, I don't know, half a second or whatever. I wonder if the attachment on the gun is too close to it. You know what I need to do? I need to fix that the laser doesn't shoot itself. Actually, why does that happen? Let's grab one of the lasers. Friend of foe. Can only hit players. Owner's gun right. That's what I want. That is not what I want. Ownership of the robot. Copy, copy. Let's see it. So in this case, so the laser gun is a child entity, and the parent entity is the actual owner. Let's see, friend or foe that we own, FOF. Oh, I need to see the actual name. So let's see. So friend or foe and the robot, and that's the boss robot. But then this one is not. Parent is the owner. That might will fix it. Well, let's check now. Right, now the owner is itself. Good. Good. Now that is an impressive gun boss weapon. Snap that laser. Hell yes. That is awesome. Right now it doesn't do any damage, so that's for testing. I'm actually curious, can you even hit the player? Even at the best of times? Why is it so fast? What's the height? It will hit, it's really difficult to hit with that, huh? Really difficult. It's fine. Now we can give it some power. Actually, how much power does it need to be good? What if I max it? 120 per second. Just make it a beast, an absolute beast. Even so, it's very quick, isn't it? Let's see. What is the damage on it? So damage is here. Oh, maybe I don't actually keep the damage on the laser itself, or just look up based on the parent, don't I? Oh, I bet that's what I do. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Alright. Come on, hit me. It does a little bit. Okay, it does some damage, just very little. Huh. So I think I need to add physical push to the laser doing damage with the walls actually fly back a little bit. A little bit, I guess. Alright, that's it. I'm sick of this audio problem. I'll see the current state. First triple boss laser. First triple laser. And the boss. Good. Here you go, volume is 0, good. So that got modified. So who's changing it? Is it coming from here? It's fine there. Maybe it's only in game start that I'll lose this setting. It's fine now. Okay. Should keep an eye on all that. Oh, maybe it's because the menu is on. Alright, never mind. Oh my god. I have things to improve the targeting for lasers. So how to do gun control. It's too much salsa music. So like the triple laser, how do I want to handle this? Now the player laser was right to turn off immediately the moment you're not pointing where you want to. That part is fine. Yeah, but he just doesn't do enough damage, and even at 120 per second, he needs like way more than that. There goes, sound's back again. Volume's back to 0. This has happen anywhere else. It has to be happening here and it goes bad. It's the only thing that makes sense. Don't trigger that. Good. Okay, there you go. Saved as proper master volume. Good. Oh my, it's many robots. Shrink itself. Oh, that the right hand attachment is too far away. Too far away. Let's see. 1.2. There you go. And it's back. I could say it was 1 again. Something saving as 1. Master volume. Your bank is not even showing up. Oh, I need to fix that. Okay. Just need to reflect that. Okay. Oh, is it just not part of the component at all? AUD. Soon I shall have enough components to no longer fit into a single byte. Let's see how close it is. At 247. So what's the thing? When does it become 1? when do you become one? Oh, does it become one when I go back? Ah. Coming back from the editor sets it to 1. I see. I see. I see. Okay. Okay. Not sure why, but it does. It definitely does. But I do load the settings here, so it's a little bit odd. Yeah. Load the settings here. Oh, boo. Why? Huh? Okay, fine. Huh. I can just ignore it. Let's do that. Okay, we're good. No longer shall I lose the audio setting. Now I do want the laser gun on the robot to have like a firing duration. So even when it's off, it should still work it out. Including damaging the walls and stuff, ground. That's good. It's good. Let's see. Laser ability. Yeah, here it bails if it does that, but you should have a special mode when there are no requests, but it's still pointing. Yeah, let's do that. So let's see. Or in that case, I can ignore any of all that. Completely ignore it all. All right. Maybe we can switch it up into rock for now. Let's see. Let's see if this instrumental rock any good. Okay. Forced activation is on. And here I could do... Oh, what could I do? I don't want to force it here because that will force the player laser to mess that up as well. What? What did you do? Oh, for some logic that should need to happen. Yeah, that would change. We need any of this for now. With a special custom font, I think it's called Fire Code. Fire Code. Oh yeah, that's all. It's all the magic that gives you the special little custom characters for everything you want. And then you can just set it up in your font and you're good to go. And it applies to the Visual Studio Visual Code as well. Made it work there even better than here. It also modifies the equality sign and even like weird ones and so on that don't even work in this language. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. The only unfortunate thing was a bug in Visual Studio where this one doesn't work. The pointer thing, even though here should be fine somewhere. I forget where. Yeah, but here you could do the scope thing, yeah. But not in Visual Studio, sadly. Very sad. Well, maybe it was fixed somehow. Maybe if I just pull down a new version it'll work better, but I don't think it's been updated in a long time. Yeah, it's been 3 years since it was made. Let's see. We can look at it again. Visual Studio. Custom character font not working. Is it fixed? Is that fixed? Mr. Maz's Paz is asking. Why not use O3D or go out and focus on the game vision video game? I've tried that. I've tried it really hard. I tried going that path really hard. Like, the reason I joined Open3D Engine years ago was specifically to learn an engine that would make a game in. And then I made a number of prototypes in my free time doing exactly that. Like, I've made this version of the game at least 2 or 3 times in Open3D. I made it once also in Unreal 5, where I spent something like 150 hours, or at least 100 hours training on Udemy for everything about Unreal 5 again. Then I spent some 3 months of my free time working on Unreal 5 for this specific prototype of this game as well. And I would just, like, the more you know, the more problems you see. So if you're not a particularly experienced game engineer and you haven't kind of worked with others who work on that, then yeah, it sounds perfect. Just grab a game engine and boom, 90% of the stuff is done for you. But sadly, reality is quite different. The reality is, those big engines all can slow you down a number of ways. Like, the other well tested, but the problem is it's not well tested enough. And sometimes just too big and slow. Like, it's a lot of those big engines that are well tested for the big teams who can come in and fix any kind of minor things that come up. And fixing bugs in big engines is a lot more effort than fixing them in your own. Right. Ooh. Oh, it came as a 0. It came as a 0. Oh, how dare you not compute world direction? How dare you? Like, yeah, some components are quite well tested and you can do a whole bunch of stuff on Unreal. Yeah, it looked amazing. But it also slows you down in a number of different ways. Like, for example, like in my game, I use live coding. You know, I need to catch this. I just need to catch this. How do I catch this? Like, I remember specifically one thing. I was working, I think my last week of working on Unreal Engine 5 prototype of this game was, I was building up particle systems. I was using Niagara, I think particle system was. I was completely fine in the editor, everything is cool. And I was like, alright, I'm gonna test it end to end, so I produced a release build, which took me half an hour to 40 minutes, so that's just down the drain on time. And then when I actually launched in release mode, it actually crashed with an assert. It was saying like, oh, this particular bug in Niagara or something just crashed in Niagara somewhere. And after spending about half an hour on that, I found that there was one particular node in Niagara that caused that, and if I took it out, it would work both in the editor and in the game mode, in the release build as well. And that kind of thing was just like, man, it's like, there's going to be needles everywhere, and you'll have to pave your time one way or the other. So the way I see Unreal Engine nowadays is, using Unreal Engine to make games is kind of like dating a hot girl. That hotness is going to come with headache. So you have to choose your headache. What kind of headache do you want to deal with? And for how much effort? And how much hotness do you need? Because if you have time to wait for half an hour to produce a release build and all this cooking process takes so long and live coding in Unreal is so much slower. Like if I make a small little C++ change in my code now, I can show you actually. Let me see. So let's catch this. If this direction is 0, just bail. I don't want to assert anything. Oh yeah, for sure. Like it's very easy to see the quick progress you'll be making in the beginning, like dialogues, animation, motion blending. Like Unreal comes with a lot of good stuff. Like holy crap, like, there's no question about that. Well, the thing though that's hard to tell is that all the hard problems in game dev is not the initial setup in the first year. Like that stuff, that's not a big deal. If you're an actual engineer, you can make it happen. The real hard problem comes like in the last year and a half actually shipping a game. We need to fix up all performance issues, like something doesn't look quite right in the game. You need to go and fix it, address it. And that's the actual hard problem. Like what if you build up a game like I have now, like little objects exploding everywhere and just runs like crap, just pathetic FPS. Like for whatever reason, I have to hunt down an Unreal Engine, like why is it happening that way? Is it just you doing something wrong, you're doing everything right, but you need to optimize some particular path? Or some random crashes occur once in a while, like at least Open3D I knew kind of where crashes are happening based on my knowledge, but if you just look at a big engine like Unreal, something crashes once in a while, like once your game launches, it's so difficult to find a problem. But really my biggest one was like, let's for example, iteration speed. Let's say I'm doing something here, I want to, I don't know, making some kind of code change. This game is going to simulate like a comet, right? So in this case, I would usually have to close down the game, recompile it, relaunch, right? But in this case, I use Live++. So this one will catch me modifying my source file. And in 2 seconds, it compiles it and updates my binary. So now everything is up to speed again. Now Unreal has the same thing. It's called live coding as well, but they use an older version. And due to the way the code layout, it takes a lot longer. Like I think it took about 30 seconds on the same machine to do the same thing on Unreal. And then when I tried that on my laptop, it took over a minute to live code one single change to do that. Another thing is I absolutely hate scripting. Visual scripting or non-native C++ scripting, that one they're just signing up for trouble. I absolutely cannot stand it. Like performance is not even the biggest deal there, it's that it's much harder to debug and analyze the problems there. Because the moment you jump contact bit from C++ into scripting back into C++, you lose a lot of information just in the stack itself. Right now if something goes wrong, I can see the whole stack up and down, I can easily navigate the code and see what's going on. But if you, for example, on Unreal, you're going from C++ to blueprints and then backing in again, then you will lose a lot of that context and you can analyze the issue there. So yeah, with things like Lua scripting and all those stuff, yeah, it obviously speeds you up. The problem is those things become such a pain to use once you go up a bit, like spend like a year of developing those scripts. Like they work on a small, tiny scale, but past that they become unmanageable. Like IntelliSense is not gonna be as good, like debugger's not gonna be as good, like catching things there is gonna be more problematic, performance is just not gonna be as good. It's just not made for like large scale. So no, that's why my game is pure C++. There's no scripting of any kind. Hell no. Just performance of those things, I'm just completely pathetic. Right now here my game runs at 4K resolution, ray tracing on, debug build, and I'm still getting 144 frames a second. I actually get, and I have plenty of time to spare. And on top of that, because it's my code and my render, I can actually run this on integrated GPUs. Like I don't even need the GPU really to run it on. Something like that is way difficult to achieve if you're using an existing engine. So even just purely for game quality, just so much nicer. Plus now because I have the power of knowing the bottom levels of graphics, now I can implement things just the way I wanted to. Whereas prior to that, it was always like you have to fight the big engines and figure out how to build the graphical systems to do any kind of little thing. It's always such a struggle. Such a struggle. So yeah, for LEGO pieces they have is good for you, but I just, hell no. Both practically, emotionally, even just purely emotionally, I couldn't do it. I don't enjoy working in a big system and doing all the crap. Because the thing is, but like Unreal, Unity, whatnot, the engineers who work on those game engines are not paid to make stable, bug-free code. They're paid to make feature that runs well enough to impress the nearby team for about half a year or so. And then they move on to different teams, different companies, or whatever. If you end up spending like another half a year making full system fully stable, you just lose. Because meanwhile somebody else jumped to another team, implemented another feature. Now it looks amazing, now you become the principal, or you get stuck on a senior or whatever. You're just a different level of incentives. So right now the only thing I have is JSON data. That's it. Now, how do I want to support modding in the future? I don't know, I haven't thought about it too hard, but I mean, worst case, I could add scripting just to support modding the way Factorio does. But honestly, it's a problem for future me. Like, if my game is successful enough where modding actually becomes a big deal, and it can actually help my game even more, then by that point, I'll have enough resources to come up with a solution to that. It's not a challenge. And because I'm in charge of everything from top to bottom, I can easily add any kind of hard reload that I want of any kind. That is not a problem. Now, granted, to do this, you do need to have a good amount of knowledge. Like, if you've never done this before, then yeah, you do want to have used some kind of engine before. And I've done that before. I've used Unreal 4 to build some game projects and that. So yeah, it's not that unfamiliar to me. Alright, Mr. Boss. I need to see how I broke my own thing. Yeah, for sure. If you've tried to do it your own way and you weren't happy with results, by all means. By all means. People have made games in all kinds of ways. You'll notice that Unreal, as amazing Unreal 5 is, it's only maybe like 20-15% games are made in that. It's only really made for like middle-sized teams, medium-sized teams. Because then you go kind of really big companies like EA, they don't use Unreal, they build their own stuff. Because the thing is, that's also you need really, the more precise you want your game to be, the more knowledge you need to have about your game. Which means you'll have to spend the time either learning Unreal or your own code, either way. Yeah, for sure. If you don't need anything super custom, by all means. But like in my case, I wanted my game to have destructible skinned ob meshes. And if you go to Unreal, they don't have destructible skin meshes. Whereas in my case, I can build them out just exactly for what I need, and no more than that. I can make it as fast as I want by giving up a whole bunch of different features. On top of that, I know that my primary skill is being an engineer, implementing new things. But like learning and figuring out different engines, I can do it, but I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I've worked on a game engine for Amazon for several years, so I kind of know how it goes. I've seen the inside of that implementations, how the things work. I don't want to deal with that outcome. Because I know that anything that looks good, once you start to use it for like half a year to a year, you will see so many problems on that. So if you talk to like professional engineers who build games, they will complain about Unreal really hard. And any game that does something serious on that, you can go online and just look up like, what did Project Red do to make Unreal 5 run well? And you can see just presentation on that stuff. I think I actually recently had some, you know, such as, yeah, maximizing game performance in Unreal Engine, or where was this? Oh yeah, here's the games we're made of. These guys were building a game which got cancelled.
So have we solved our outstanding problem?
But they basically build like their own like little side renderer to the engine just to deal with little hiccups in the frame rate for Unreal 5. And that was because Unreal 5 nowadays is primarily made for like super high quality characters and a few objects on the screens. It's not made for handling tens of thousands of objects like these guys had. Some people just struggle with that. So yeah. Alright, back to ray tracing. The other thing that convinced me is that I've seen too many games that will be able to succeed without having super high quality. A recent example of that is Tactical Beach Wizards.
In a world where the top reason,
Let's mute that. Because I was looking at the game, and like the game has very, very soft shadows. Sometimes they don't even see any shadows at all. They even have, I think they even turned off all kind of ambient occlusion, probably to run better on all the machines as possible, to have a wider coverage as possible. Like this is not high-end graphics at all by any stretch. And yet, I should have saved the game's link. But you can actually go and check out how much it made. This is guesstimation game by the website. I think this guy's made 1 million in 1 week. So as nice as graphics are, it's... So they do have shadows, but they're just... They have their like very soft shadows. Sometimes you can barely see any shadows at all. And just, I don't know what they're doing. But anyway, like who cares about quality? If this is your result, this is how much you make in, what is it, 1 week and 2 days? Bro, who cares? So based on my analysis of the games, the other games that are made, they usually have too many technical issues because they use a game engine, because they can't quite control it to give it the quality they want. Yeah, that's what I hear people oftentimes saying, like, oh, look, this kind of success happens very rarely. Well, yeah, the question is why? It doesn't just happen randomly by chance. Something makes them succeed and something makes ours fail. And what is it? And so what I did then is I went up online on Steam, I tried to look at games. And see what kind of games do succeed, which ones don't. And I've noticed the ones that fail, they always have the same issues where the frame rate issues, hiccups, the controller feels pathetic. And that doesn't come from the engine, it just comes from lack of precision and attention to detail. Game engine or not is almost secondary. Because I actually built a game like this before. I actually have it. I built this on Unreal in Open3D before. Let me see. Just take me to my channel. There you go. So built this prototype before. Playlists. All the prototypes. Yeah, this was me building exactly the same prototype but on Open3D. I was able to get it running okay. The frame rate was obviously different, and My issue was just control. I just didn't have the same control precision to get everything looking just right. Even though it looked bad in terms of lighting, it just... I didn't have quite the same level of control of it. Both of animation too. And I'm just like, I do not want to mess... Oh, I remember one thing I had a problem with. With that engine, I could only export one motion per one FBX. So if I have like fun, I have like 5 motions in a Blender file for animation to a single guy, I had to create a separate FBX file for each of those motions. And that was like an engine limitation. And yeah, I could have used Open3D Engine as a starting point, but I was like, and I don't know that engine very well. And I was thinking to myself, all right, what would it take to support multiple motions per single FBX file? And then I started digging. And the kind of nasty thing I saw, what I had to do to fix it, I was like, dude, I'm not spending all that effort. Like, some of those things require way too much effort in working on a large code basis. And Godot, I looked at Godot, but again, it's not a C++ thing. And I do not want to write little scripties in Lua and whatever other variations it has. And I've read enough articles about performance issues in Godot. It's fine if you're just looking something easy, but in my case, I'm looking to make a high quality game where there's no freaking hiccups. I'm not dealing any kind of weird things, and because everything runs so much faster, I can use a little. Yeah, I know C++ is Godot, but even that you have to go through some additional layers in Godot. It's at the end of the day, like, what am I gaining exactly with that? Like, I already built out my user interface, my own motion blending. There's not a whole lot I don't have that I really need. Like, maybe fancier particle effects, but I can build that out. So yeah, before I actually really got it into that, I spent several months of my free time building out enough tools initially. But now it's such a pleasure to work with your own system. Like, my frame time right now in release build, my machine is like 1 millisecond per frame. So I can just go all out on physics and anything else. Whereas Unreal, I have to like, I would probably have to give up probably like 10 milliseconds per frame just on graphics alone, even if I disable a ton of things. It's just not the same. Whereas I can be a complete stickler and just to look at frame graph really hard and see any kind of hiccups happen and just squash everything. Also, my other question is like, how much graphics do I really need to succeed as an indie? Like, do I really need Unreal 5? Like, at this point, Unreal 5 is not that amazing because every game comes out using Unreal, like Wukong and all that, so you're not going to impress anybody with graphics anymore. Jix looks and goes like, oh, it's not an Unreal 5 game. Yeah, okay, fine, sure. But it's no longer that amazing selling point. I think at this point it might be more interesting to play something that looks just different from Unreal. Just visually, just so it doesn't look the same as everything else. Like, it's such a pleasure to run through all this and debug build and see absolutely no lag spikes. You just absolutely nothing. Just crushing it. And I do get some lag spikes when I load a new level, like new chunk. That's when I get a little spike. You don't see it visually, but I can see it in the graph. And so because of this, I can just go all out on specific or physical destruction. It's sure that would not be able to do it if I was looking at something else. So that's the funny thing about minimal hardware requirement. Because it's my system, I actually have built 2 renders. So this is a ray trace render, it requires hardware ray tracing, right? However, for this renderer, I can switch out into. This one runs an integrated GPU, so I have an Intel CPU. I can actually just switch it out. Now, it runs poorly in like 4K resolution, but it will run fine. Let's see, settings, force integrated GPUs. Let's go. And so now it's going to take longer to load. And the frame rate here will be poor because the resolution is too high. But once I implement full screen, Or just get a little lower resolution, like down to close to 1K. And then full screen, that's all I'm getting 60 frames. And this is running on... Come on, render, where's my renderer? This is running on Intel UHD Graphics 770. I don't even need dedicated GPU. I can just make it work well enough. Because my screen read is 4K, so even this is probably over 1K. There's some oddness of some things the way it look, huh? That's interesting. Integrated GPUs have their own little bugs. Interesting. Maybe it's because it's low frame rate. That's interesting. No, primary cost for Intel for GPU is the drawing. It's actually is the resolution. Like adding more robots doesn't really do anything. It's just physics computation. Oh, it's interesting what happens there. Like, why does it do that thing? Huh? Interesting. Like, it's still getting 60 frames, even though I'm doing all that. Huh. It's the first time seeing oddness like this. That's weird. Integrated GPUs are special, huh? Nonetheless. But that's the point, because of this I'm suddenly full in control of minimum settings. Before I have to like worry about what engine does, what kind of minimum that thing supports, how far I can go. But in this case, I don't care, I can make it low as possible. Man, that effect is not intended. I wonder why it has this shadows effects like that. It's cute. Not quite how I intended. It's like it has motion blur for particles, even though I don't have anything like that. It's the first time seeing it. Let's give it back to another shot. Yeah, when I implement full screen, and I can just force it into 1K, this will run just fine. Now, what do I use for sounds, physics, and trees? I don't think I want trees. It seems unnecessary. For sounds, right now I'm using MIDI audio. For physics, Phys X5. Like, yeah, I know everybody does vegetation, trees, and all that. Like, bro, whatever. I don't think you need that. Alright. Back to GPU world. It's probably the reason why I've been thinking of working on a full screen implementation. Just so I can see how Intel CPU does it of full screen 1K. Because these robots are actually pretty cheap. Like, it doesn't really add much to it. Let's go back to ray tracing. Boom. I did break laser for a player though. I wonder what it did. Oh yeah, I've definitely been thinking about adding blowing off arms of these dudes. Yeah, it's no problem. Like, I actually already completely pre-configured which parts of him blow off, so you can actually see like chunks of him blowing off of them. The same thing happens when PL can be had 2 arms. I can completely turn that off as well. Because I'm fully in charge. Let me see, pause that when I want. Yeah, go. Let's see, debug draw. Let's grab one of them robots. And show colliders and bones. Yeah, so I would have to, because right now this shows the physical outlines for the collision on the bones. But yeah, I can definitely, for example, let's see, this is a robot. Well, right now it may not allow me to do that, but right now this is showing all the submeshes that are being shown. Because everything is separate, I could just hide one of them. Let me see if this works. Oh, I don't support removal of one particular thing, but yeah. This is where I can specifically choose to just hide it away. For example, here, do a gun right, and some of the gun disappears. No more gun here. Now I just need to build additional logic to make it work. Melting environment is that's a bit more complex. Because breaking it like that is easy. I just bake the, I just pre-compute all this stuff in Blender, export the separate models, and that's easy. But actually, like physically modifying, blending it, that would be rough. Now you could do it to some degree where PhysXI does support deformable mesh, and you can deform it and be like, essentially do like vertex manipulation. Yeah, I can do all that. Because I create dynamic meshes all the time, left and right, so it's not a particularly big deal. Maybe. As an indie, you can have to decide what do you need to work on to make the game more interesting. Is it that, or is it something else? What I actually want is for the laser to shoot up when he gets hit. Right now, I'm not seeing the laser shoot. Alright, slow down. Oh, it's too fast. Yeah, see, that's what I don't like. The arms are definitely pointing up, but the laser is still pointing straight down. And I need to make this reflections be not as strong. This is way too harsh. It's not taking angle into account yet. I need to divide that. You can definitely do some subdivision, deformation of meshes. The problem is it's pretty difficult to find tools that can do this well at runtime. And when you have those hundreds of little objects bounce around destroying them, that hits your frame rate really hard. And one thing I refuse to give up is 144 frames in my game. Maybe in the future, later. If the game actually becomes successful or win, then anything is possible. Plus, the more time I spend building out my own render, the more skills I acquire. How many cores? So me personally, skipping third-party libraries, I only use maybe technically one core and have 2 side threads to update navmesh once in a while, but computation happens pretty quickly. Because anytime you destroy a wall, I have to recompute the navigation mesh. That's where you can see little updates once in a while. But it's like 20 milliseconds at a time on a non-main thread. So maybe 2 cores will be fine. Now I know PhysX 5 runs its own threads, so does Mini Audio. Run a threads in Vulkan. So like 2 or 3 cores will be fine so far. Don't need a whole lot. I mean, that's the beauty of having C++ code. If you can, yeah, you could compute a bunch of stuff on the side on the thread for sure, let meshes for sure. The problem is the moment you, even if you put something on a thread, then it doesn't happen the moment it cracks. So you have to like pre-crack it ahead of time. But then by that point, it's like, it gets tricky. Using threads doesn't always help because then it delays when actual destruction happens. Like when I break it now, I want it to be broken now, right there. If I have to wait like a quarter of a second for it to show up, then that already feels different as opposed to immediately. spin in 5 degrees. I can do anything I want at this point. I've built out almost some 250 components. Right now these guys just use animations so they don't spin much, but yeah, I can do what I want. Anything I want. Full control. Also, in the long run, what you really need to do is to create custom tools to let you build the content that you need. So even if you use a game engine, you still need to build a whole set of custom tools to create all this content for yourself. Because primarily, in games that are actually good, most of your time is spent building content. So let's say I'm working on a core engine for a year, and I need to spend like another full year just on the content, where all I'm doing is more items, more of everything. Swapping out while melting. That's gonna have a blink. It's kind of like one reason I don't like LODs. Is because LODs, when they switch to different levels, there's always like that visual snap when the object switches between different levels. It might be easy to, because what I can actually do, because I have very low level access to Vulkan, I can just really modify the mesh, each mesh separately, and just literally just like deform it myself as I need to. Yeah, it's actually a good idea. The melting of the wall, I can definitely do it. You would involve a little bit more mathy math, but yeah. It just means I have to update that even in GPU fully. I hate writing too much stuff in GPU. It's such a pain in the ass to debug GPU code and all the GPU crashes. But yeah, I can just build it up on CPU and modify the mesh on CPU, then push it out. Yeah, for sure. That's the beauty of not being strangled by like a giant mountain of a system that already forces you to render stuff in a particular way. Just want to need nothing more. Now that's the thing, like, because you unlock extra power by being really comfortable with your own code and technology. I mean, I have full control of Physics 5, so I can do whatever the hell I want. Right now I just added just simple breaking of the wall. Like the weapons break the wall and push in particular directions. You can definitely add like all the volumes and so on. Yeah. The limit is purely my time and what I choose to think of, what I implement. Just a few days ago, one of the things I was implementing was animation debugger. Because I want it to be really precise of how smooth the motion blending happens. And so I finally got it. Stop spinning, you little bastard. And that's what I have now. You can actually see all the blending the way it happens. So that way, even if it happens in slow motion, I can fully track everything. So right now robots don't use direct line of sight yet. Right now it's pure distance. So I don't particularly care about the walls. Now my character does a line of sight check. That way, like when you're out in the open, she'll point at them. But if you're behind the wall, she doesn't. Until the wall gets broken, then she'll point at them, like now. I was thinking about adding line of sight to robots too, but it depends on exactly how I go about that. Yeah, because it's like, yeah, if you want to build a game of hiding, sure. Because the moment you have 200 robots and each one does a raycast to check the line of sight, you're gonna blow your frame rate so fast just doing that. Whereas in practice, when you just go around without any hiding, just blowing things up, it's like, who needs a line of sight check, dude? Like, you're not missing anything. Everything just mayhem, everything gets fired around. Yeah, but even if it's small cast, it's still a cast, and physics cast is still expensive. So once you multiply that by 100, 200 times, it's like there's better time spent doing something else instead, like maybe fancier hair simulation, or maybe more destructible objects. That's the part of having your own tag and knowing everything down every millisecond what happens. including building out GPU stamps. So I know exactly which passes take how long to build out. No, I haven't worked on holes in the ground yet. Don't think I'll need that for my genre. It's really more like a Diablo game with destructible physics against robots. Plus some kind of like vampire survival, almost like easy controls. Yeah. So right now I'm mostly playing on Discovery. I can play the game and I feel, what is it that feels fun? Don't particularly worry about adding like a lot of fancy little things. Like one of my principles is that I don't think the game is as fun just because you add 1,000 different things to it. It's much better off to focus on the one that feels really fun and then just focus on that and lean into that really hard. It's like if physical destruction is fun, just add it to everywhere. Use it to somehow damage robots. Like one thing I'm thinking of what I want to do is have a male hero. Instead of being a ranged one, he's going to be melee. He would just like come up to the wall, just rip chunk wall out of it, and you can just chuck it at the robot. That would be sick. Or he can just like punch walls, like he doesn't, he never gets bugged by walls. That would be awesome. So right now my difficulty, the way it's set up, is I can just scale robots as necessary. So anytime you go to the new area, that actually increases the difficulty of them. So this guy's levels 8 now, so now it takes a bit longer to destroy them, especially those little ones. And then also have a different items that you can put on, and those items actually have effect. Let me see. So you can put different look on top, boom. Yeah, I was thinking about Charm. I mean, there's no limit to what I can do now, because it's just, the moment it becomes like a low-level implementation that you know from bottom to up, you can do pretty much anything. And even if something's really difficult to do, you can just come up with different ways to implement it fast enough, so anything is possible. Because I can do the kind of trade-offs that you can't do if you use a big game engine. Just like that. In reality, if you look at even games that do use Unreal Engine, like for example Mortal Kombat, they rewrite a lot of that code. A lot of the tools, they change entirely. Like even some games, even though you use, I think like recent RTS game Snowstorm, they ended up rewriting the editor to have their own editor, and they completely ignoring Unreal editor except for like some features. So real games, even they use engine, they write a lot of things. And on top of that, even if the somehow fully fails, when you have so much experience building up your own stuff from scratch, you just get to learn so many things that most engineers don't know. For example, how many engineers have implemented inverse kinematics for animation? Very few. And that comes with a lot of value even just for your job security. Yeah, worrying about past 10 hours is something for AAA games. Like it's all about worrying about the end game and so on. As an indie, if you can make a game that runs for 2 hours, that's pretty good. My approach is like financially. What do I need to do to succeed financially? Because once I do, that's when I can worry about adding more content, paying our artists, and hiring our engineers if I really want to. It's a very different type of thing to think of. I even make my items use an M-mesh. Run away from the top. I do like the lasers. I definitely need to make sure it points in direction of the bone. So even when you like punch them and have the robot be knocked off on the side a little bit, I want those lasers actually like full of direction of a hand. And then I thought of the way how to add like the burn lines to the lasers that actually remains in the ground for a little bit longer, as opposed to just particles, purely particles only. And I should be able to do that in a fairly efficient way without slowing anything down. Yeah, but this is nice. Like, who needs trees when like you have so many little parts flying around everywhere? Because one thing I think the games often do wrong is that they add too much visual effects to the game that it just becomes too much noise. You know, robots do fire at each other anyway. That's why sometimes you can see robots just like staggering from their own shots. Like for example, right here you can see it. Let me do it. Slow it. Right there. This is when the robot gets hit by another robot. Yep. Boom. Now right now they don't do any damage because I turned that off. But I can control that. I might just add it back in just to make it more of a like I'm using mayhem. The thing is, like, if you're used to just using big game engines all the time, even open source engines, you're just used to only knowing small parts of your code, or the code base that's involved in the game. It feels very different, and both in terms of what you can do, what you feel about it, how you think about it, if you actually know just about everything about the code that you have. I don't remember if I have a video, but at some point I think I may have captured video before I disabled the friendly fire by robots. But I was definitely thinking adding remove friendly fire against the big robots. Let me do that actually. Let's go to boss, take his guns, let him hit anything. Let's see if it works. Ooh, it does damage to them, but it's very little. I was hoping more. Ooh. We have a new crash. What is this? Oh. That's a GPU memory thing that I need to work on. Okay. For now I can do temporary fix up, but yeah, it needs to be addressed. Well, 1,000 ways to make a game, so by all means. I just completely... Like, another thing I think about games is that the biggest challenge in making a game is actually staying with the game for the years it takes to make it. And if I have to spend years working like an open source engine or Unreal Engine, no, hell no, I'm not doing that for years. Absolutely not. I'd rather have my own thing. Like, one of the big features is just to have amazing performance. Like when you have this clean performance without any lag. It's this pure control game. Like, that's like a game feature nowadays, how rare it is. The thing about things like SpeedTree, which is fine, yeah, I've done it before. It immediately requires a lot of things out of your engine. Like all those LODs, all the extra triangles and all that. Plus, if you want to animate it, it becomes pretty expensive too. Like, sure, if you need it. I don't think you need trees when you're blowing up robots left and right. I don't think it's a requirement. But sure. I mean, it's a bit tricky just to model anyway. I can just import it. It's not a big deal. But specifically going for low end. That way I can have crazy physics. Because I don't have to draw like super precise. Like I don't even have LODs like specific on purpose. Because my camera distance is the same. What do I need level of detail for? Everything's in the same distance pretty much. Because LOD popping is so annoying. And you can see the same thing in vegetation. You can actually see if you pay attention to like videos of games where like up close vegetation has different shader and level of detail. Then you can just see just past it. You can actually see the edge, what we call it grass, switches from one to the other. So annoying. This is a fact I added a while ago. Like when they shoot each other in the back, they actually just like get like hit. Oh, it's so fun. It actually ends up being like a procedural animation in a way. We still runs in motion, but then affects particular bone to some angle for a little bit. Yeah, I've been sometimes. So I actually have a control. That's one of the things I can do. I can do either. Just like an example. Just bring it down, pause the game, grab this boy. Let's grab the mesh. So I can do make it hidden. Oh, this guy doesn't support casting shot. Okay, I think here can do it. Yeah. So here I can still cast a shadow even though it's invisible. Or I can have disable shadows. So I have full control of what I want to do here. Let's see. Pick the entity for particle. I think for particle, maybe I'm completely disabled the, let me see. Particle mesh. Oh, the shadow is cast. I think just in this, yeah. But I can always hide that way. Sometimes I do it. The thing about that is that sometimes I actually specifically disable those reflections on shadow if it adds like too much. Like for example, here right now it's too much noise. Like I don't need this made with so much reflection. Like they're just wild. Like it looks even better here when you don't have crazy reflections and all that. So it's not about what looks realistic or what looks good for the game. So this render is full ray traced. So every little pixel you see on the screen, there's actually ray trace going out, a ray going out and hitting the environment. And then does a few extra bounces here and there and so on. So that's why I'm doing transparency here. This is all ray trace transparency. Something in reflection. So I can actually full control how much reflection I'm doing. So I actually disable it per mesh if I want to. I might just do that. Because reflections on the ground need to be more muted, because this is too wild. This is like doubles it too hard. Shooting each other. Those lasers need to do more damage though, you know what? Let's do more damage. Why don't I just crank it up? Like how much damage do I need? Oh, this is damage rate. Oh, I was cranking the wrong thing. Jesus Christ. No wonder. Oh, I was cranking the wrong thing. There you go. This one's gonna hurt now, isn't it? Oh yeah. That gives way bigger of a punch. Where's the small fry at? I'm gonna see how much damage does to small fry. Holy shit. Oh, we just destroyed them on the line. Oh my god. Boom! Self-destruction. Holy crap. Yeah, what I need to definitely need to add the lasers kind of. Those things do damage. Jesus Lord. Including to me. That was awesome. So it's definitely positive. I need to mix in bosses of small fry at all times. That was going to be plenty of friendly fire. Because that's amazing. Just absolutely destroying. But they do too much damage to me now. I need to work on the itemization some more to add more item types. I'll just give him a laser. Let me see. Okay, maybe it's... How does 25 feel? Let's see. I need to configure so I control this like in a text file instead of manual. But it's good for now. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I like that. The real hard challenging problem is not actually game engine. It's actually getting good sound effects and good art. Like, Unreal Engine is amazing, but also you need AAA assets for that, so... I ain't got money to pay a bunch of artists to do all that stuff, just way too much effort. So I need something at my level. Alright, come on. You can shoot me right for the bad guys. Right? Boom! Oh my god, it looks amazing. He just takes them out. Snap. I gotta see frame rate and physics frame rate for this. No, stop shooting me. Alright, physics frame rate. CPU frame rate. Let's go get a new patch. Come on, big boy. Turn around. Snap. Just destroy them. Absolute destruction. That is awesome. I gotta capture video of that with friendly fire. For sure. Let's do this. Let's crank up the spawner. Robot spawner. Spawn maybe 15. Alright. Let's restart. OBS Studio. Time to capture some fun stuff. Okay, let's hide everything. Now that was a good discovery. The fact that friendly fire is that fun. That was good stuff. Okay. I'm still paused. Alright. Let the recording commence. No, right now they don't cross across rooms. This is actually like actual specific optimization that I do. Come on, give me. So the whole world is built into chunks. So that way when one chunk is gone, it just gets completely destroyed. Including everything that was on there for robots and so on. So part of that, like I don't have to deal with a lot of stuff. And I've really wanted to in the past. I have implemented like really large terrains of Minecraft-like generation. I could do it, maybe. On the other hand, this is so much easier to handle to implement things. Oh yeah, I love those guys that are taking out the little robots. Boom! Look at that. Like, if I had amazing sound effects is what I really need. Because graphically it looks fine enough. I'm not worried about that. But no, robots don't follow you forever. I like the way the Vampire Survivors did it, where if you just keep running, they just despawn the bad guys from behind you and put more in the front. Yeah, I can definitely do 3x3 grids for sure. Right now, specifically, I have only one. That way I can exactly see when it gets added, so I can track the performance and how much it lags and make sure everything looks correctly. But yeah, it can easily be added. That's like, I don't know, maybe a couple hours of work, maybe just one day, and that's it. That part is all easy. So your friendly fire but robots, but big bosses definitely makes sense. I'm definitely keeping that in for sure. Like just like blowing chunks of them, like, oh my god. That's awesome. Just boom. Oh yeah, that's awesome. All right. Oh, I got squashed. Time reset. Well, the thing is, the moment you have 3x3 grid chunks, suddenly there's like more things to worry about. And I haven't really implemented calling. And I could definitely call it based like which things you see, so yeah, it's all that. Just I'll have to think about it. There's always to solve this problem for like gameplay where I put like an actual door, and so I don't even hide the fact that I'm spawning stuff like that. Moving floor tile. I haven't tried the physics. No. Right now they use NavMesh, so moving tiles will require a separate implementation for that. But I don't think I'll be worrying about moving tiles. Ooh, you just destroyed that guy. Snap. No, what I need is more and more destruction. And more ways to connect destruction to gameplay. Be it male hero throwing like different wall chunks at the robots, punching them, uppercutting them, and hitting flat out different pieces. That's what I need. Little platforming is moving around. I don't think it fits. You have to think about it. There's definitely many different ways to approach this. So the real question is not if something is possible to be done, rather, given the limited amount of time and effort, what should you spend that time on? A moving platform is the best addition to the game, for example. Because I think I'd rather implement like 50 different new robots versus moving platforms. Like more different types of bad guys to fight with. Different type of terrain looks differently. Yeah, that's the thing about working in a game. Like you have to, at the end of the day, you have to judge yourself what is fun. You have to use your own judgment. So if you find moving platforms more fun, by all means. In my case, when I added the when I discovered that destructible walls everywhere reacting to your shots were amazing, that's become a main thing that you want to focus on. So I'm mainly thinking about how to connect destructible environment to more gameplay mechanics. For example, I wanted to add so that the wall gets flung at the robot actually does damage, doesn't just bounce off of them. You can also make debris cause damage when it bounces off of them. So the collateral damage actually hurts everything that hits them. Yeah, definitely need the variety of visual for the walls and whatnot. So in this case, I'm actually thinking more time like how to optimize the process of creating all that content so I can make it as quickly as possible. So spending more time, like the one thing I do use scripting for is Blender add-ons. And then yeah, for sure, I use AI to help me create a bunch of Python plugins and add-ons to help all this process go faster and smoother. Because one thing I'm noticing is that when you have this much chaos, then it doesn't matter as much how much of animation these guys are showing and the quality of animation. So I can skimp on animation a bit more if I have this much mayhem. Like, oh my god, it looks amazing. What I'd really love to have is better audio effects. That might be like the first thing I really add. Add spider robots, like suddenly hop a few meters towards gives scale the cost. Yeah, maybe. Sure. For sure. Some kind of dashing things. Yeah. Yeah, I've been thinking about adding a melee attack for robots for sure. I'm still thinking about exactly what I want him to do it. Because these are robots, not your regular guys, so I don't want to do the usual like sword swings and all that. It seems has been done 1,000 times. I have to think a bit more. How did? And even more so, I'm thinking about how to get what kind of melee heroes I could have with physical melee abilities. Like uppercutting the robots, pushing them, punching them, pushing them through the walls. That might be just be super fun just on that. Yeah, landmines. Maybe. The thing is, I think I want to add difficulty, not so much through some kind of annoyances. Because to me, like little landmines and all that, it seems like more annoying than fun. For example, one personal example is like Diablo 4 has a lot of cooldowns, just about everything. It's very difficult to just like spam the spells that you have chosen. Like they really punish you hard for that. So like I would rather be able to just like spam. Ooh. GPU crash. Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah, right now I'm still have too many issues. Okay, you know, I'm curious what actually happened. Let's fire up. Let's fire it up. Inside. Let's take a look at GPU crash. See what happened. No, it's not what. Happened the ray tracing when building. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing about GPU crashes. It's so much harder to analyze. I think something happens to my render when it just kind of runs for a while, especially ray tracing. Like now ray trace render just so much more stable, there's so much less complexity to it. But ray tracing need to do a bunch of extra stuff. Let's see, let's bring some audio back a little bit. Oh, there's still a bad guy here. Cool. The thing about landmines, it's going to be very difficult to see landmines in this game. Because once things start exploding, it's very difficult to spot anything on the freaking, on the floor. So I don't think I want it to be done quite that way. Like it's actually pretty difficult as is dodging all those little different attacks. Especially ones like crank up the robots. Let me see, let's take a look at the GPU stuff. Let's see how much all this is growing. Oh yeah, wasn't I still working on this? Yeah. Because I have my own GPU allocator, I can actually see all the buffers that are involved. I might need to work on some repacking the memory a little bit. Yeah, I'll think about my minds and all that is definitely possible. Right now I have other things priority first. Specifically I need to work on adding way more item types. Those other things not particularly big deal. Like I'm supporting types and all that, that's all fine. Let's see. Boom. Boom. So unlike many indie games, I actually support different look for different items. Which is difficult for many indies actually to achieve well enough. Not here. I definitely need to solve this occasional crashes in ray tracing rendering. How about I implement something? This is enough playing around. See, it follows the direction of a gun. But I want it to last a bit longer. Let's see. Robot ability use. Ba, 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 ba. This is what tells the robots to turn on all its guns. It might be easier just to have them done just in the following way. Enable fire duration, activation duration. Remaining activation duration seconds. Okay. And this is a runtime. Pulsing laser neon laser lights is alright, but it's so easy to overdo those pulsing lights everywhere. I'm gonna see if I can make the game somehow be chaotic, but without too much visual overload. Okay. Rename this. Seconds remaining for activation. Okay. Yes, yes. Okay. Let's try I can configure how long that gun will fire. Like that. It might need to be pulled into a separate component though. What to do on that? Pull out into a separate component. Yeah. Oh, this one doesn't need to be done anything to it. Okay. Okay, with that reflection is done. So now, otherwise. Start with this. No, I completely wipe out. Right now all the levels are procedurally generated, so anytime you enter a new one, you get completely brand new random one. I could save them off in the future if I really want to. Maybe. But no. Right now just a better minimum. It would be quite a lot to save all that and save destruction. You could, but I don't see a whole lot of benefit for it. Because the primary fun of the game, I think, will be just running around and just massive chaos. Maybe for some particularly important objects or something, maybe. Yeah, maybe, but I don't think it's all that important to worry about continuity of different levels and different chunks of levels. I can only just call it the hypercube. So anytime you go to a different side of a cube, you get a different 3D world out of that 4D hypercube. Okay, let's see this in progress now. I want to see if this actually works. Let's do some more play testing with this one little lonely robot. Let's enable activation. 1 second, that's fine. At least for one of the guns. Now let's see what happens. Okay. Let's look at the Mr. Robot. Which gun has this? This one. Oh, this is not a tick. This is on change. I need to tick laser ability now. It's not on change anymore. Oh, yeah. Initial implement the laser ability. This was meant to be only when you're actively using the spell. The moment you give up on it, it no longer gets any updates at all. That's why laser just goes away that quickly. Hey, take care of Mass. Thanks for ideas. Nothing good. So I need to tick laser ability now, huh? I mean, okay. Definitely need to factor out all this logic into a ticking setup as well. Okay. Yeah, I'll need to take this whole thing out. There was another way to do it. Since laser entities are attached to the gun, they can just follow the bone position even there. There might be more to do with when does the laser beam go away? What deletes it? Yeah, it's set to go away at all times, just about. What if I give it a little bit of time? What the hell did I do? How did that world clock go? I didn't need to do that. Not yet. Actually, it's fine. Oh, whoop. Huh. So way too quickly. But I do like screenshot. Oh god. All those reflections are so strong. But this works as a screenshot. Oh, there's kind of VSync issue when I'm saving a screenshot, huh? It's unfortunate. Highly unfortunate. Show what you got, boy. Oh, no, wrong time. Okay. Why is the screen orange? What do you mean? Which particular part is orange? But no, it's nighttime, so make sure running faint orange hue. Not sure. Oh, it could be, I know why. That's because it's nighttime and I'm using Flux. And so Flux tries to take care of the color coding scheme. Let's see. Come on, load it up. No. No, so I don't use Nightlight on Windows. I use this dude. Why is it misbehaving? Alright, he's gonna fix for a moment because I'm gonna kill it. So now it's back to usual colors. And now it's gonna go down back to orange. And that's why. There you go. And I can even set like different levels to it if I really want to make it hard. This screen removes some of the blue light. Makes it easier on your eyes and brains as you work in the late hours. Nah, I do want to take... Screenshot seems good enough. I'll take it to... for my future stream preview is good as well. Put it on X as well. That's good. That is good. Actually, I could just take it as this for now and dump it into Discord. Okay, I don't need X anymore. Boom. Yeah, the triple laser was definitely a good idea. My debug menu. This is just I'm GUI. Like if you really want to see debug, boom, then you're gonna get to see a bunch of stuff. Let me see, pause that. Grab this boy. Also show colliding bone shapes. So the white outlines are the physical shapes for robots. This is all C++, custom rendering, custom everything except physics. I use PhysX 5 for physical simulation, and I use flax.dev for entity component system. Outside of that, I have my own renderer, I have my own UI, I have my own everything. Alright, something will go wild out there. So because it's all C++, I'm running at 4K ray tracing, my ray tracing. Well, the mass, I'm still getting 144 frames. Easy. I could probably do even more if I unlock the frame rate. Let's have fun with this. Let's go. Everything off. Oh yeah, crank that frame rate. Goes down a little bit when when things start beginning to blow up. I made my own game engine because I tried really hard to use existing game engines and I hated the process. Like Unreal 5 was very pretty in the same game I had Unreal 5 looked very pretty, but it was such a pain to work with that engine with the low level. Like it has pretty tools, pretty graphics, great animation tools and everything, but the low level C++ is such a pain. And that's another thing I've figured, that as an indie, I'm not gonna win by building another AAA game on Unreal Engine 5, just too expensive. You need to hire a bunch of artists to make the AAA assets. What I'm gonna win on is standing out visual somehow different. Just having different things in the game that you usually don't see. They're usually too expensive to implement. Like, Unreal is not made to have hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of objects blowing up everywhere left and right. Like, you will need some crazy GPU to run that well. Whereas my game does not require a crazy GPU. In fact, this is actually a debug build. A release build, it runs even faster. But 3x faster. Ooh, but I do have a crash in my ray tracing renderer. You have a lot of good reasons to make your own engine, so let's play in a more stable renderer. So this is a non-ray tracing renderer. This one runs and even integrated GPUs. Yes. Right now, what I recently discovered is a really fun thing is to have the big boys do friendly fire on the little fries. Oh my god, it's so satisfying. What I meant to do, maybe I can want to respawn those little fries, little robots. Yeah, I'm not familiar with Noida. It sounds like probably like maybe some kind of 2D crazy simulation thing, for sure. Yeah, if you're looking to do something custom, you want to do a particular trade-off that game engines don't offer, then for sure. Because usually, most game engines are made to try to be useful to most average customers, kind of by necessity, because the primary goal of game engine is to have as many games use it as possible, especially if you open source, because you don't get money anyway, so might as well get some clout by having a ton of games made in your game engine. The problem in time, the moment you take in a big engine, even if it's small like Godot in comparison to Unreal, that's a lot of code. That's a lot of code you have to learn, figure out how it's built and why it's built that way. There's just a lot. And if your game needs all that, sure, by all means. But as an indie, I don't need 1,000 features. I just need a few things that I need, and that's it. Either way, you're going to be spending time either building out your stuff or learning all the other things. And then the problem is, as you learn it, a new version comes out, you use that, it crashes in different ways, it has different issues, so it's always a pain. And if you're using a gaming engine that has that uses other third-party dependencies, for example, and suddenly no longer runs on mobile because it needs a new version of a game engine, like, good luck upgrading your game between major releases of an engine. Now, sometimes you might be forced to do like a minor upgrade, just because maybe some kind of mobile or platform requirements, and that could be a real challenge. I think game engines are primarily just there just to help you make a game at whatever cost. If it costs performance, by all means, it'll do that. But I'm not interested in giving up performance. I'd rather give up on the graphical detail and quality, but have the performance that I want. Yeah, whereas my, like, I can actually run this game even on the, so I have Intel CPU, so I have Intel UHD integrated 770, and that runs at 1K resolution. I can actually get like 60 to 80 frames. That's pretty good. Especially as an indie. Because if you have a ton of funds and you're looking to sell your amazing AAA quality game built in Unreal to people who can afford insane computers, sure. But as an indie, if I can sell a game like that for like $5 that runs on integrated GPUs, and suddenly those customers will be happy. Because people have phony 90s, they're not going to want to play. They're mostly interested like really high-end graphic games for sure. But there's more customer base out there who have cheaper computers. In that case, if you can make a game run well for them and for $5, they'll sell well. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, a game feature today is something that just runs well, does not lag. If your game like that, it just runs smoothly without any kind of hiccups and all that, and it crashes, then awesome. And that's one thing I get here, because I'm in control of everything, I can just squash and notice anything that even tries to give me any kind of hiccup. Here's my frame graph for FPS. And for physics. Now, physics is what does cost me a pretty penny right now. Like, when you have a bunch of different objects flying around, at least hide the game UI. Now, that's when physics does spike up. But it kind of grows more or less linearly, and then goes away the moment objects disappear. Well, that's the thing. Modding is nice, but modding is like once you succeed already and you made a bunch of money of your game and then people want to mod it, sure. That's like a different problem. It's like a success problem. Like, first you need to make a game good enough that actually attracts that many people who want to play mods in your game, and do that for sure. On the other hand, right now all my config is in JSON. So while I don't really support any custom logic, JSON is easy to modify. And I can always add reflection into whatever scripting language I want. That's not a problem. Not a problem. Also, technically it's even possible to release a bunch of C++ code as well, so it can be modded like in a native level, which is pretty rare. But most of the people don't do that because it's such a pain to release source code. You can get just sued just because your source code looks too close to some other source code. So it's such a legal mess. That's why most of the time source code is hidden, just so you don't get sued by random people. Adding I've implemented scripting languages before, Python, Lua, and all that. That is so easy to do, extremely easy. The main painful thing comes from adding reflection to everything in your engine into those languages. But the actual language is easy. Yeah. Well, third world countries that I used to live in as well, they have their own pain as well. But, yeah. But maybe it's possible in the future I might separate, like break up like a little one chunk of module and then release that particular source code out. Maybe. We'll see. That's like one of the success problems. Like when you're really successful, then you can think of how you want to spend the money and resources on that if you really want to go modding. Plus right now all my logic is in data anyway. So you could actually change a lot the way a robot behaves just through JSON, with different toggles and switches. Yeah, I mean, I used to growing up in Eastern Europe, so I definitely know how things can be rough with bad economy. My suggestion there would be to somehow get a job into the more Western world. Usually working for open source projects can make a connection there in some way. Such as, for example, you can submit pull requests to Unreal Engine because it's semi-open. It's open source, not so much. It's source available. And if you can impress a bunch of people there by doing a bunch of submissions, then you eventually can get a job and get it out. Yeah, those renders are just so stable compared to ray tracing. I have more work to do with ray tracing, for sure. Oh yeah, I need to fix laser. The open source comes with its own problems though. Unless you have an engineer in charge of open source like with Linus, or like a Godot owner maintainer, they usually go to hell pretty quick. Let's look at some of these buffers. Is this growing at all? They do clean up eventually, pretty quick. There's definitely a bunch of buffer allocation. You can start somewhere. Plus, the biggest thing about learning is it's two things. It's practicing on your own a lot, all the time, and also getting feedback from people who are better than you. And if things start getting into pull requests, that's when you can get feedback from hopefully more senior engineers. And that's how you learn. And as you study their source code, then that one gets much better. Whereas you in open source completely, that can be challenging to figure out the quality of engineers that are helping you out. So that can definitely be a challenge. Yeah, but the way I learn is basically working on my own. Because primarily engineers being independent creator. So I would spend 80% of my time working on a project on your own and building yourself. And 20% of the time looking to get some feedback from more capable engineers. Be it for pull requests or working some kind of source available engines, be it Godot or Unreal, whatever. Now let's see if the number of buffers goes down to below 70 as everything here is cleaned up. I think it will. Yeah, back down to 63. Good. Good. Yo, that you can all start contributing to some more low-level Linux systems for sure. Good thing nowadays, because there's internet, everything's so interconnected. It's pretty easy to find connection, just a question of if you're willing to put in the work. Alright, let's fix the laser. I somehow broke the laser, and that needs to be fixed. Stay away from that big guy. Somewhere here. Now, why did I break laser? Actually, you know what? Let's go to my Ghetto map editor, turn off the big boy. So now I can test just the player. Where did I break? Yeah, that may have been worst. Yeah, pick whichever path is easier for you to get through, for sure. Just needs to be a combination of your long-term goals and the ease of learning, not getting blocked too much and stuff. But there's a ton of tutorials out there. Remember when I was studying C++, I learned it on the following book. Let me see. Thinking in C++. That's the book. Let me find a link. Yeah, because this is a free book on C++. This is what I used to learn on. Oh, or just a typo that made it happen. Sure, I'm sure there are books on C and assembly as well tutorials. Plenty of things to learn. Well, some of them seem to be pretty cheap to work on, like Raspberry Pi might be cheap enough to get. When I was learning, I was actually learning on like an old 8-bit computers. They just had a basic language on some assembly, that's all they had. Okay, laser's back, good. Snap. These guys are just destroying those mega lasers. Oh god. Oh, that's funny. That's the thing about programming, age doesn't really matter. As long as you have access to some kind of computer, you can start doing anything. Even if you don't have any kind of system that runs an assembly in the easy way, you can always get an assembly emulator and run it just about anywhere. Because reality is, the job doesn't actually teach you anything. The job will just make you do what they need you to get done. And if it gets in the way of your teaching and getting better at something, it doesn't matter to them. For them, it's to get a job done. That's what you get paid for. So it'll be on you to learn something, even if you get employed. Yeah, those patches do so much damage now. I need to nerf them. It's way too much damage. Should do 10. See what 10 looks like. Do this at 60 tick. When I was in college, I basically ignored all the classes entirely, except just to barely get B minors as an average. And otherwise, I spent all my time programming my projects, game projects, and whatnot. And I completely ignored everything else. Because I saw that colleges, for the most part, are pretty useless. Just to get a piece of paper to prove to somebody that you know something, but as an actual comes to skill building, I built everything. I learned everything much faster myself. I started programming on computers when I was maybe even like elementary school. Might have been like 8 or 9. The sooner you get into it, the better actually is, because your brain is more flexible in the beginning, much more flexible and later on as an adult. So if you wait until college to really jump into it, you're not going to be as good, as fast, as capable if you get into it now on your own. Because you only need a little bit, a ton of free books online, ton of tutorials online, ton of different programs to download that are fairly free. You can learn a lot just on that, just on practicing just that. Like what was actually challenging was learning all that programming stuff without internet back then. There wasn't any good access to like help or like even asking people or just looking up different tools. Just whatever books you had, that's all you had to go by, and that's it. Whereas now you have a ton of resources everywhere. That's the thing, like colleges are not made for engineers. Even if you're in a computer science, unless you're like in an insanely top tier university, it's usually going to be geared towards like an average person who is barely knows any kind of programming. It was just a joke when I was in college. Just like, dude, this is nothing. Like I was working like on 10,000 lines of code, of game code in college. Meanwhile, doing some kind of minor test of like, compute this little, write this one little function. It's like, dude, this is a joke. Yeah, I've done a lot of MATLAB and all that stuff, yeah. The only class that was kind of interesting, I had a class on assembly. And we were writing a bunch of assembly for like 8086, the old CPUs. I built that little tool how to interface with a keyboard using assembly. And then send that information based on the key press to like a sound speaker to make like a little piano effectively. That was kind of useful to understand assembly a little bit, but even so you can just figure out by yourself. It doesn't take anything. It just takes time, perseverance, and getting sticking to it. Yeah, a bunch of all languages in the past too, like little tutorial stuff, but that's basically kindergarten the way I see it. Plus, C language is so simple to learn on. Especially all the modern languages like Rust and all that, just such an insane languages. Where just C is so much simpler. Or Basic or Pascal. Alright, let's see. Do I have a bunch of changes I need to commit? I do. Okay. What did I fix? It's probably play around with that, but it doesn't do any good. C is very simple. I would work on it outside of college in any way. The way college teaches people is just wrong. It's not made for humans. You're better off finding some kind of free book like Kearney and Ricci on C and just going to that. If you think you need to wait for college to learn things, then you're gonna be behind. All the good engineers, by the time they get to college, they already know just more than programming than college will ever teach them. That's because you're used to more modern languages when they flip the order. But all the basic languages, all the old languages, they always do type first, name afterwards. That's what I'm comfortable with. It's all those modern languages that flip the order. I don't actually like it. They only do it because it's easier to parse for compilers and lexical tools, but I think it's more useful to know the type first and then the name. Such a minor thing. Which is why I'm sticking to C++. It gives me the maximum freedom without the least amount of restrictions and forcing different styles in me. Well, I guess printf initially can confuse some beginners, yeah. My old prototypes. Oh, this is what I was working in college. So I basically was ignoring all my classes to work on this project. This was using one of the graphical engines at the time called Augur 3D. It's still around. I was using basically physics as well. So this is what I finished maybe like 2 years into college, maybe 3 years into college. Like college never teach me something like this, no way. You have to figure it out by yourself entirely. Breeding OpenGL. This is my first version of this I wrote myself in OpenGL. This is what I wanted to practice on, not some small little college tasks. Sometimes I actually would take my laptops into classes and work on the game on my laptop while the class was going. I didn't care. I think I have to take each gun. I think there's really much way around it. Yeah, I got a computer science degree, yeah. Although if I was born in America, I would not have finished that degree. I probably would have quit until like a year or two into it. I've just gotten a job somewhere being a programmer straight up right away. I would not have worried about the degree. It was such a slog. Such a pain. It was too boring. Still might be right. we just change this to tick to system single observer. Yeah, my main suggestion is that college is not for learning. College is there to get you a piece of paper to prove to somebody else that you know something and that you can be patient enough to stick to a program you don't care about and follow the rules of the company that you'll be working at. But actual learning has to be done by yourself. I think I was learning C by the end of middle school. Definitely in high school. I think I got started learning OpenGL maybe at the end of high school, maybe beginning of college. Either way, somewhere in between. I would have done all that earlier. I just didn't have access to the computer for a long time growing up. How do I want to handle this? Don't know. I think language is not even that important anyway. The primary importance is actually being able to debug your code or anybody else's code. Analyze issues, fix them, and so on. Language is everything else, it's not that important. It's not a big deal. See how far does it shoot? Boom. There's a nice triple laser. There's a nice triple laser. Yeah, I had the same problem. I had to get a degree no matter what for immigration purposes. There was no way to become a good way to become a citizen like getting a degree. So yeah, I got a degree. That's what I did. But I minimized the time wasted on the stupid class as much as possible. Now, the big boys definitely looking nice at textures. We need to do the same for the little ones too. What's another thing you can do? Like once you start getting into programming, you can also join different competitions. There's usually plenty of scholastic competitions across the countries for programming, math, and everything. I've done those too. Also, I think I may have gotten scholarship for college by being good at chess. But even so, like, programming is the one job you don't really need a degree to get a job. You really don't. If you can prove it out in some other ways that you can get stuff done, then that's what matters. You know what? Let's do this. Let's fire a blender. And create. Let's see. Where's my robot 1? Right here. Good. Good. Shading, yes. What's all this? Why does it act so weirdly? Is there a weird view? I'm not really sure. Why? Alright, whatever. Oh, it must have been some because there's no sun or whatever. So weird. Alright, whatever. Best position, good. What's going on with that? Like really, do you really need the sun? Fine. Let's add a sun. Didn't help it a whole lot. Not sure what happens to it. Now what? Let us reopen it. No, it's some kind of thing. Some kind of thing. Let's call it Robot 1. What's that? Should be everything. Let's go. No, it's. Why is it being so weird? Pick it up. Oh, before I do that. Yeah. Select all. Let us see, unwrap it a little bit. Hopefully this is good enough. I gotta tell you though, like college and all that, I mean, it's all good, but the primary thing is actually the skills that you get out of it. Because once you get college out of college, and like 2 years goes by, then after that nobody cares about your college. That will become what skills you can actually have and bring to the table. Okay. Wipe it all out. Like, what is going on? Why is it being so weird? Okay. Bake it out. Oh, what did it say? Is not able for rendering, huh? Okay. It's kind of amusing that you can't get a job nowadays without a college. That was definitely not a thing before we were born. Still don't think it's true. I think it's mostly true if you're going for like a white collar job. Of a nice cushy office, not sure. But there are plenty of jobs that don't need college. Just depends on which one. Come on, Blender. No, just gonna hang. Yeah, it was acting weirdly. I know a lot of engineers in my field worked for companies like Amazon and so on, and they did not have a college degree. So I don't think it's all that important. Especially if it's gonna take you going into debt and spending the same amount of money. It better be worth it. Come on, Blender. Sure your thing, do your thing. Okay, we need to fix whatever's going on with this rendering thing. I actually think it's getting too late here. I'm gonna take off for the day. Continue this tomorrow. Thanks for chatting. Enjoy your day, wherever you're at.